don't know what that was. Welcome back to the Graybeard Podcast. As promised, with me this evening is back again for the second time, Mr. Kameron Lott. Why did my mouth wanted to say Kameron Lott? I don't know. Welcome to Camelot. So we're just going to get right into it because we got a lot to talk about. And you guys know Cam, so I don't need to introduce him, really. We don't need to go through his backstory again. If you don't know Cam, go back to the episode where he first appeared and take a look at that.
Love that.
Yeah. So, Mr. Cam.
Yes.
How are we?
We are good. We are booked and busy.
Yeah.
We are blessed and grateful and ready to just take this thing on.
1,000,000%. And I think I said this to Jen last time, but like every time I see you, I have to like check on you. Like, are you good? Are you okay? Because I don't, and like you never know what's going on in someone's life, like what it's actually like. But
Yeah.
I just know that when I see you, you are running around. You got 2 phones going. You're talking to 15 people. You're moving at the speed of sound, and
Yeah.
it's just like, are you taking breaks for yourself? Are you taking me time? Are you staying healthy?
Yes. So, yes, thankfully, praise God, I definitely find moments and pockets where I can kind of just, go back to the drawing board and just, relax and reset. I would definitely say, though, passion is what keeps me going because I feel like I always have multiple jobs and multiple
Yeah.
things to do and accomplish. And I feel like a passion and a drive is what keeps me going for sure. But it's definitely a lot. But
Yeah. So what all are you involved in right now?
Whew. So
Locally here in Jacksonville and abroad or wherever else?
Yeah. So honorably, of course, people may know, but I'm signed to Postal Model. That's a commercial model. So I'm always finding work there and, really getting my feet wet with them. And then I am also a partner with Collab. So I do, all the marketing there and, they love some of the ideas I have and just really being a sounding board for them, like more of a vision board, which is amazing.
Right.
And then now the Jack's Fashion Experience has my
Yes.
attention as well. So that's number 3.
That's your project.
Oh, that's mine. Yeah, that's fully mine. Yeah. And then Elliot came on board. So thankful for him.
Yeah. I was going to see if he could come too, but I was like, it might get a little weird having, like we've had two guests at the same time before,
Yeah.
but like it was almost like I wanted to have you guys on before the show and then after the show, but even knowing that this was kind of like impromptu almost.
Yeah.
Like okay, this I got a slot. Let's
Yeah.
get in. So like trying to get 2 people to coordinate together was just a pain in the ass. So sorry,
sure.
Elliot. We'll have you on another show, and you can tell your side of the story.
Yes. Elliot, you definitely get brought up a lot. But yeah,
The man.
Yes, very much so. But yes, the Jack's Fashion Experience is mine. And then I am also starting my own social marketing media, kind of like firm as well, I guess you want to call it.
Yeah.
Right now it's in the works, but it's called Honey and Tea Social.
Okay.
I'm going to be helping, as I already do naturally, but I'm going to be extending a little bit more and actually providing services for, anyone that needs help with like, social media marketing or content or like branding. I'm also stepping into that as well. So I naturally already do that, already.
Right.
Like I've done it for the Jack's Fashion Experience page. I do it for Collabs. So it's like, well, let's extend a little bit more and, let's see where that can take me. So. Oh, and then obviously photography. I'm starting to get back into my photography, so I'm shooting more as well. So that is also in the works. So many things.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
Crazy.
awesome. What started the idea for the Jack's Fashion Experience? Like, how did that come about in your head? I mean, I understand that you're a model and you that's your passion, but I mean, I like how did you think I'm gonna do this and then and actually get it done and pull it off?
I know, it's crazy. My God. So I will have to go back to my childhood because that's a sounding board for me. I think I just remember watching like America's Next Top Model, and I was like, man, like that's cool to be like a runway model, and the way that she kind of just directed it and handled the models, it was just admirable for me. So I was like, maybe one day I can do that.
Yeah, but
My
the
young self.
modeling and being behind the scenes and operating making the operation run are two completely not to say that the modeling is easy.
No, it's a lot.
I know they work hard, but
Yeah, no.
pulling everything together like you did and getting that many people there in one night is no easy feat.
Yeah, so yeah, I probably veered off the question a little bit.
No, you're good. Keep going.
Yeah, no. Obviously, marketing is very important for anything. So
Right.
even when I didn't feel like marketing, I was marketing word of mouth. I was marketing, obviously Instagram is a big platform, so I knew that would be a really big help for us. So marketing on Instagram. I was trying to collab with the right people. I think that really helps. When you collab with someone and someone takes interest in you, you kind of get their following and their engagement as well. So that was really important too, was to really, try to engage with those that were, passionate and had a pretty decent following and, kind of a good aura about themselves.
Right.
I would say that was a really big part in making the show successful, was those collaborations. And then besides that, budgeting also comes in play, and then just, making the itinerary and, it's a lot of work. But I think, again, what really kept me going was, the passion that I had in myself. I knew who and what I was representing. And then just seeing everyone else really excited about the experience, I think, is what really drove it to success.
Right. Yeah. How long did it take you to kind of get the ball rolling? I mean, even from scheduling practices, getting the models together, coordinating with the fashion designers and clothing shops. Yeah. I mean, take me through that process.
So, wow, yeah, that was a lot.
It's a blur now, isn't it?
Yeah, so I would send. I'm more of a scheduling person. I would send just pockets of information out. So I will have days and time slots where I sent out like a multimedia message.
Right.
I think another important thing with a fashion show is you need to be organized. So I had a group chat for everyone. I had a group chat for the male models. I had a group chat for the female models. I had a group chat for the camera crew. I had a group chat for the vendors. I had a group chat for just me and Elliot. I had a group chat for a collab. I think that's really helped me kind of know when and where to push out certain information at. But no, that was I honestly don't have an answer on how I did it.
Is it just like a blur? Just
it would
everything kind of unfolded. Well, it seemed like everybody was very keen on helping to kind of facilitate this, and everybody was really interested in doing it. And something that Jennifer and I talked about on our last The Beauty and the Beard podcast.
Yes, I love it.
Was the fact that it's even though it's a local thing and it's one of how many we're going to have, but hopefully many more. And being that it's like a local thing and it hasn't developed its legs yet. You know what I mean? People aren't noticing, but they are. However, the point being, it's a great opportunity, for an experience that you may not be able to have in Jacksonville anywhere, as far as for the models, and they can put it on their resume. Absolutely. I mean, it's great. It's great. And to go back to the fact that people are noticing, I made a dumbass comment on the Beauty and the Beard podcast with Jen, and so you had somebody that's very famous, a famous fashion designer. He liked your post for the fashion experience, and I was like, "Who the hell's who's Jacob? What is his name? Mark Jacobs." I didn't know who he is. I mean, obviously, look at me. Okay, I don't have fashion. I'm not into fashion. I don't try to be. It's not my world.
Yeah.
I rely on you for that. And maybe I'll have you do like a makeover for me or something. But I got no clue. And so, Mark, if you do ever watch this, I do apologize. I know who you are now.
Yes.
And how much you're worth.
Yes. Very, very, very decorated in the fashion industry. Is actually one of my inspirations, and actually, doing the fashion show was really, really key for me. It's crazy. I would never thought he would notice something going on in Jacksonville.
Right. But it shows you there's people watching.
Oh, there's always people watching. That's important. And I try to really make that a very like important aspect of the show. Is what I was telling all the models is you got to be careful what you do because someone's always watching you, and you never know what opportunity is going to come your way. So you just want to make sure you present yourself in a more professional manner,
Right.
and always just be ready. You just
Yeah.
always got to be ready.
You have to be.
You have to be ready.
Yeah, I heard that there might have been some talent scout type people
Mm-hmm.
in the room.
Oh, they were.
Okay.
Yeah, they were definitely in the room. They reached out to me. I'm actually in coordination with one talent in the scout.
All right.
We'll get into that a little later.
Yes.
But yeah, so you just never know who's in the room. You never know what opportunity may be on the horizon for you. So you have to, if you claim to be a model, then, you need to act as one. You need to have the professionalism as one, and you need to be ready to work as one.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people like myself. Again, this is the first and only, not only, but the first of many, hopefully, that I've ever been to.
Yeah.
I've never been to a fashion show. Never shot one.
Same.
And it's
It's crazy being a fan of your own fashion show. Like, I've never been to a fashion show before.
Yeah.
Nor have I ever directed one.
Well,
so
you
this
did
was-
excellent. I couldn't tell. I mean,
Thank you.
It looked like everything you've ever seen on television. That was what I got. As a photographer, it would have been. Oh, my dogs are going to be barking, guys. Sorry. I feel like if I acknowledge it, they give me a break.
They're cute, guys.
But what was I saying? As a photographer, I was like, man, if they were elevated on their walk, it might have, because my camera is really good at picking up faces.
Yeah.
And they're walking almost eye level with the people that are in the crowd, the audience. So it's like, where do I focus? Where do I focus? I mean, the only way I could have really shot was on manual, and they're walking, and that's just not going to happen. But, that's just a little sidebar for me as a photographer. I don't know if anybody out there a photographer has shot fashion shows before, and you want to give me some tips. I am a photographer, and I got a podcast, but I'm not the best photographer in the entire world, and I never claim to be. But
You're a very good one.
Well, I appreciate it. You're just very nice to me.
Stop. It's the truth, guys. Go look at his work.
Thank you. But it was definitely an experience. And we were all, I don't know how many guys and girls were there for shooting the place, but it felt like there was 20 people.
There was a time.
And I just was like,
yeah,
I had my little spot.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to move.
There was a time. And, obviously I had my media team, but there was a lot of photographers that wanted the experience of shooting a runway social. They bought their tickets.
Right.
And so, that was just an experience for them. I just love how the show branched out. I love how, everyone got something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Whether you were in the show, whether you were in the crowd, whether you were a photographer, whether you got something, and it just, I don't know, it just warms my heart.
No, that's exactly right. There was so many things happening. How did you get in touch with the clothing? Did they reach out to you, or did you just reach out to them, like the clothing designers? And I said it's Slay, right?
Slay.
Okay, yeah, I said it wrong. I don't even remember what I said last time. I don't want to rewind that and figure it out. So don't do that.
Hey, real quick, shouts out to Alex Ward, Josie, and T-Shawn Young.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they all stopped.
Alex,
Love you,
that's
Alex. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah. Do you know Alex?
Alex was in the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's up and coming.
I thought, because we know another Alex, and I wasn't sure if it was, but Captain Jack.
Oh.
I mean Captain Jack White. I don't know if you watched that episode. That was a fun one.
Josie said, "Who are you wearing, Cam?"
Thrift store.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna pop some tags.
Yeah.
I'm wearing
in Pandora.
on air, all black. This is courtesy of I don't know where, Amazon.
Hey, if you're listening though, real quick, please drop a like and subscribe if you haven't.
Do
already.
that, and
you.
share it with your friends.
Please,
Share the
please.
link with your friends so
Yeah.
they know where to go.
Please.
Yeah, I'm just curious about that. Because you had how many? So I know you had at least one clothing designer, and then I don't know, and you had some shops that were like vintage shops.
Yeah, so I had Disco Dolly, which is Alexis.
Right.
Shout out to Alexis. I love you. You did amazing. Keeks is Kylie. They're both vintage stores.
Okay.
Savage at Peace, Miguel. Beautiful testimony. I heard his testimony yesterday on how he started his brand. I'm not gonna get into it. You'll see the behind the scenes of that. But so yeah, so he
And he's
started
local
his
too?
brand. Oh yeah, he's local. Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to have Mr. Savage on. Well,
Yeah.
I'd like to get everybody, as many people as I can. So
Very
if you're interested,
Yeah.
if you're interested in coming on the show, hit me up.
please.
The Graybeard Podcast on Instagram. Just hit me in the DMs, man.
Jim's the guy. But no, Miguel, yeah, beautiful testimony. And I just found out for myself, obviously an experience for me, that he was able to cater to Pharrell. So he sold some
Wow.
shoes to Pharrell, Young Thug, and Gutta.
I thought I think I followed him, but I think I saw on his Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
What was that girl from Rob?
Chanel West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
so
cool.
very decorated, very accomplished, very hard worker. I love working with people like that. And then
Yeah.
we had Stay Young Clothing, who had a similar background. He started his own brand and has become like really successful. He sold some gear to the Jaguars. He has some celebrity appearances as well. So just to be in the same room with these guys and these ladies that are just so driven and so passionate and so decorated,
Yeah.
it was just an honor for me.
Yeah. Did they reach out to you, or did you reach to them?
Oh, so Elliot, I know.
Hey,
Me.
listen, ADD gets us all.
It does, yeah.
It's gonna get
Right
the
off
worst.
track.
Yeah, I was gonna get the worst of me here in a little bit. So I'm trying to stay on track.
So thanks to Elliot. Elliot's amazing. He reached out to Alexis from Disco Dolly.
Okay.
John from Collabs. Shout out to John too. He knew Miguel from a previous work history.
Cool.
So I reached out on behalf of him, and he was really excited to be a part of a runway show. Stay Young. How to Stay Young? Tyshawn, how did I meet you? It's so crazy. Look, I'm just going to give all credit to Elliot.
Okay.
I think Elliot was the one who got most of the vendors
Yeah.
in the same room. And, I just did follow up and follow through. But Elliot was hardworking and getting, the vendors and the fashions for the show. And, I have to give that credit to him.
Yeah. So it was ultimately a team effort
Definitely.
by all, but I mean, you and Elliot really spearheaded it and got this thing
We did.
rolling in the right direction.
Yeah.
T-Sean said Nia and Kayla.
Oh my God. Thank you, Tyshawn.
Yeah,
Love you,
said,
bro.
I got you, LOL.
Yes. So yes, Tyshawn was I remember now. Thank you, Tyshawn. You're amazing. I was at the Tyshawn was at the 904 pop-up
Okay.
by the beaches, and two of the models, Nia and Michaela, shout out to you guys. I love you guys. I guess Tyshawn had reached out to them because they were looking at his product and they were really impressed. And
Yeah.
I think Michaela and Nia, they kind of spearheaded it, but they were like, hey, my friend's hosting a fashion show. You should come and, see if we can get some of your looks on a runaway. So then Tyshawn texted me, and I was like, yeah, let's
Heck
do it,
yeah.
bro. Yeah, so, yeah, that was amazing. Again, to be a model, you have to market.
Yeah. You got to put yourself
Gotta
in front of
market
them.
yourself as a model. So I really appreciate it. And like you said, Jim, I think you said it perfectly. It was definitely a team effort. I couldn't have done it by myself. I had the initial idea. It is my show. It's my vision. But
Right.
it took the team to really accomplish that vision for sure.
Right. Well, in any business, one thing that I've learned is I learned this the hard way, but there is no, you can't get it to move by
No.
yourself. It's just not going to happen.
No way.
You've got to have support team. You got to have, other leaders. You have to have people that are self-motivated and ready to roll,
Yeah.
and I know that that's not always the easiest thing to find, and I'm really I not to kiss your ass too much, but or Elliot's, but I'm really impressed. You guys are younger than me. I'm going to call you young folks. All you young people, get off my grass. No, but you guys, the fact that you had this vision and you went after it and you made it, you made it happen. I'm really proud of you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, all of it, everyone, the models. It was amazing. I wish I was so angry at myself. I was like, why couldn't I just stay?
No, but I'm proud of you because there was so many people in the room, and I remember you telling me sensory overload. It was just.
Oh, it was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that too. I had that. That's why you saw me dashing down the runway when I had to, because I'm like, I don't want anyone to look at me right now.
Yeah.
Sensory overload to the fullest, and that's why I
Bless
give
your
myself a
heart.
pat on the back too, because for me to have to kind of put on that hat as a director,
Mhm.
I really am comfortable with just working behind the scenes. So to have to put on that hat as, you know, fashion stylist, director, whatever you want to call me in
Right.
the moment, and to like keep the show going, I was really proud of myself because I was like, man, like this is a big role, and I don't like,
All eyes are on you.
yeah, and I don't really like talking to people. But
Yeah.
again,
Well, you had your mic man standing up there on
Oh,
the stage.
Elliot,
Elliot was up
yes.
there.
Elliot was over
He
there.
seemed very comfortable.
Oh, he was in his zone. While I was running around with my like a chicken with his head cut off, Elliot was just he was
Chill.
cruising.
He was chilling.
Cruising. And I loved it because it
Yeah.
wasn't so comic-y. I didn't want the MC to be so comic-y,
Right.
but I love that he kind of threw.
It was fun and
it was-
professional.
it was so smooth. It was professional and.
Even with like you had a few sound issues,
Mm-hmm.
but for us, I'm like I don't know what was going on back there where y'all were at, but
It
where
was
we
hell.
were at, sounded fine.
Shout out to Jen too. I just remember Jen being in front of the line. She was like, "Cam, like, it's okay. Like, you got it." So really shout out to her because I was
Mhm.
literally about to just fall back.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm done
Yeah.
because there were so many things that shouldn't have happened that happened, and I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, I've never had a problem with the Collab Cafe sound.
Right.
Even
right.
John was like, I don't know what's going on right now. Like, it literally just disconnected.
What do
I
they
was
call
like,
that? That's not Occam's razor. That's whatever can happen will happen.
Yeah.
You know, and if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen at the absolute
Yeah,
worst
like
time.
I lost my phone at the beginning of the show, and my phone had the full playlist
Oh, no.
for the show, and I'm like, guys,
And you,
there's no show unless I have my
Newton's
playlist.
Law.
yeah, that. But and you don't want to run around like going, "Excuse me, have you seen my phone? Oh my god, oh my god." You know, you just have to
Again.
quietly but abruptly
Yeah.
make it happen.
And that's why I tell people, like, I know a lot of people, they're like, hey, like, you know, I bet it's fun being a model. And it's like, it's tough.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you want to have a meltdown, or sometimes you want to just, you know, give up. And sometimes you want to just, you know, sit in the back. But I'm telling you, to be a model, it's hard work. You have to step up to the plate. You got to, I don't like saying fake it till you make it. I don't really like that because then you get fake results.
Yeah.
More or less, like, you have to put on your game face, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to put on a game face.
Yeah. I mean, I know you don't like it, but fake it till you make it. The sentiment I think behind it is kind of poignant, I believe. I mean, if you don't know, because a lot of those people had never walked a runway,
No,
none of them,
myself
but they
included.
had to act like they did.
Yeah.
So that's the faking it part.
Yeah.
And eventually, after like the second time they went down, it was just like dropping fire.
You saw the change, right?
I did.
I saw the change too. I was like,
Yeah, it was like a whole different set of people, you
Yeah.
know. And I think that's like with anything, you know.
Mhm.
The first time I did an interview with anybody on this podcast, it was Russell with So Scenic. And he'll be back on in 2 weeks.
yes, I love Russell.
It'll be my 100th episode.
Yes.
It started with him, and we're on 100 with him. So
Damn, Jim, that's big. 100.
yeah. Not 100 interviews, but 100 podcast episodes
That's
total.
amazing.
Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
No,
I've been doing it for a minute, but yeah, when I first had him on, you know, it was just audio. There was no video, but it's still. I never met him. You know, just like when you well, I'd already met you, but I'm just like most of the people I bring in here, we've never really hung out or talked.
Yeah.
It's like, and they come in here and they're meeting me, and I'm meeting them for the first time, and it's nerve wracking.
Yeah.
So you just have to basically, you got to fake it a little bit. You got to fake the funk a little.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
You know. So I mean,
you have
but
to embody. Like,
yeah.
You just have to say no to the fear and just like embody.
jump off the cliff.
You gotta, You
Yeah.
gotta embody it. Yeah, for sure.
For sure, for
I
sure.
agree.
What are some of the things like that happened, or all right, let me rephrase this question. What are some of the things that you would do differently, knowing now what you know, for the next one?
I do feel like I was a bit lenient when it came
Mhm.
to the rehearsals, so I kind of felt like I had to almost put my foot down a little bit too hard,
Yeah.
closer to the show. So I would say that's a note that I took for myself. Like, hey, like if you keep the same attitude, then you know, it's a less of a worry
Right.
when the show comes. I do feel like everyone respected me. I will say that I never felt disrespected
Good.
in any part of the show. But I do feel like some people were kind of used to that fun Cam side. When director Cam
Yeah.
came out, they were like,
It's like working with your best friend.
I kind
or
of felt
something.
it. Yeah. I kind of felt some of the resumes going up. Like, I am a model. It's like, yeah, but this is my show.
Right.
So I want it done that way. So I feel like, and I mentioned numerous times too, like during the rehearsal, I said, hey, I'm going to be critical. Don't take it personal. And, I got feedback on that too. They were like, don't say that next time. Just do your thing. Like,
You're
this
right.
is your show. Like, you don't have to apologize for your vision. This is your vision.
Yeah.
So, and I will say I am a very apologetic person.
You never want to hurt anybody's
I
feelings.
don't want to hurt anyone's feelings intentionally, no, because that sucks.
Yeah, but in business.
But in business, yeah, again, you said it. Modeling is business. It's business. So
it's a big business too.
Yeah. So put on your big boy and big girl pants and get to work. But yeah, so I would say that's something I would do differently. Another thing I would do differently is, I don't want this to sound shady, but I'm going to say it.
Shade it
I
up.
will be careful who I cast.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I almost got to a point where...
Well, I heard you had a bunch of dropouts, people that dropped out.
Dropouts, yeah. And I was very disappointed. There were some people that I had really high hopes for.
Yeah.
And, things just didn't work out, and that's okay. Business is business.
Sure.
But, unfortunately, you just won't be recast, unfortunately.
It's probably for the best, though.
It's for the best.
Because,
yeah.
I mean, and to those people that may have dropped out or what have you, may just have become overwhelming. They're like, oh, I didn't sign on for this.
Yeah.
I didn't know what this was when I
think so, too.
Just thought they were going to come in and have a good old time like a sleepover, and that's not what it is.
Like, this isn't cute.
Right.
This wasn't a cute show to do on a... Did we do it on a Friday? Yeah, a cute little show to do on a Friday night and then not hear about it anymore. It just wasn't that. That wasn't my take on it. The show was meant to be a springboard and to branch out to many different things, and I feel like it's done that. So I feel like people just had the wrong impression for it.
100%.
A lot of people, I feel like most people came in with it looking at it a passion, and some people came in looking at it as like a hobby.
Right.
They were like, this is not something I'm probably gonna do again. So, let me
just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had when I did the behind the scenes for Joe and Kayla when they did their styled shoot day, their content day. I think they ran into some of the same issues that you did. I'm sorry, coffee.
That's okay.
But the problem is, like you're employing people, and the people that like went to their thing were a lot of them were from Collab. Like they had been to a bunch of the events.
Yeah.
And they assumed that this was just another Collab event. And, it's not. It was, yes, it was held there. That was the venue. But it's not just another Collab event. Collab events are like a hang, It's like, I wish that we had those when I was growing up because I was a nerd and I didn't like to go anywhere unless I was with my band.
Yeah.
We'd go to these little shitty dive bars and play, but it smelled like feet and I don't know what else. But yeah, but like if we had the collab is cool, man. It's super cool. It's a hang for creatives. You can go in if you're a model or you're a photographer or a videographer, and you're going to be able to create content of some kind. And it's a minimal fee to get in. Are you kidding me? With $15 online, $20 at the door. Anyways, let me just hit that up. But yeah, but it's definitely, I never once thought that it was a collab event. Like I knew this was a Cam and Elliot type thing. This was y'all's baby, and this was a fashion show.
And I think that's one thing too that I respected about the collab, that they just allowed, they allowed someone from the outside, because obviously I wasn't there from the very beginning, but they allowed someone because they seen my work ethic and my passion. They kind of allowed someone to kind of just take the reins for a second.
Creative privilege.
Yeah, without it being so, hey, like this was shot at Collab, like collab.
Right.
Like there was nothing Collab slapped on it but the venue. So I really, really appreciate Ray, John, and the rest of the team for, just allowing me to, showcase my vision and show them kind of like what I'm capable of doing. Okay.
Yeah, no, you take those kudos, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of that crew, Jit hopped in and said, hey.
Jit, what's up?
T-Sean and Blake hopped in. Time and Place hopped in.
Yes, hi
so
Brett.
Yeah, everybody's showing some love.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So Jit, I actually miss Jit so much.
I do too.
Well traveled.
Oh my God.
I think he's in Korea at the moment. I'm not sure.
I think so. But Jit, like seriously, if you need anybody just to carry your baggage, dude,
Yeah.
I'm there. I will.
Like I don't understand why you asked me. Like, are you nuts?
I'm just like a Klingon. Please take me with
know.
you. No, but
I could have held your tripod.
I'm saying something. You know what I'm saying? We'll do something. Blot his forehead. I mean, whatever.
But yeah, so I really, really appreciate Collab for like allowing me to take creative privilege and kind of just own the night.
Yeah.
Without slapping a label on it or taking too much credit for it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you mentioned partnering with them, and I so like when I first started going there and using the studio and stuff, like I was talking to either Jet or John, and then they slowly were like, here, talk to Cam, talk to Cam, and and I noticed that shift, and then every time I'm there, no matter what day or not time it is, you're there.
Yeah.
So you say you're partnering with them, but like, you're kind of like operating a little bit. You've got your hands in the operation.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
And they trust you because you have great creative talent.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely more operative than I give myself credit for. But I don't know. I feel like to be a partner is, I think it's just doing exactly what I'm doing is to, helping build the brand, helping with, creative ideas and avenues and things of that sort. And I feel like I've done that well.
Right.
Yeah. And I just do a lot of things that people don't know behind the scenes, but.
Right. And I mentioned that as well to Jen. We talk about you, because we love you.
Yeah,
but
nice you.
And that's one of the things. Like people, there's people. I'm not saying that Collab is like the end all be all of Jacksonville or anywhere, but it's awesome the amount of opportunities they've afforded people, and what a lot of those people that go into those places they don't see, and they don't. I pay attention. I'm a nerd like that. Like I'm an observer. Okay, like the amount of work that Jit was putting in, until he decided to go overseas. No, I'm just kidding, Jit.
He said, "Oh, Cameron's there. See ya."
Yeah, he's like, "All right, Cam, you got this. I'm out. I got other shit to do." But he's very, very busy. But I mean, when he was there and he was doing like the all the social media stuff, I mean, he was literally
quick with it.
Video editing, uploading, shooting everything, doing it all. And while
during the event,
right, and then with you getting everything organized and going, and I don't think that the people that come in there, which is a good thing, and I think if you own a business like that, you want it to be that way.
Absolutely,
you want it to be stress free for your patrons. You don't want them to think about all the behind the scenes shit.
Absolutely,
but for me, I see it, and it's hard for me to ignore it.
Yeah, that's
why I'm always asking, "Are you good?"
I really appreciate it too.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could do more to help, but
I'll send you a list.
I could. Okay. I'll fake it till I make it.
I'll send you the list.
Appreciate it. Yeah. I'll send back what I can get done for you. Well, I mean, I stay busy on my own stuff too, but I would love to be more involved in that arena. Absolutely. I love being creative. If you guys need anything, I'm here. I'll help in whatever way I can. Whether it's, even if you just, hey man, just share this out. Whatever. I think I got like 5.5 followers, so that's how I can help.
You got it. Noted. I got you, Jim. I got you. That feels really good. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I wasn't just kind of just saying that to make you feel good. It's true, and you the people that are running those shows, and you make it easy for the people to be patrons, and that's what a good business is all about, in my opinion. And I will say that the Jack's Fashion Experience that night, it was if I haven't already said it was like unlike anything I'd ever done. So I was extremely nervous. My camera overheated and shut off.
There was a lot of heat in that room.
Well, when you shoot 120 frames per second, for over a certain amount of time steady, it just overheated with this R5. Yeah, everybody wants to. All the Sony shooters are like ready to jump my ass about it, because Sony, you can run it all fucking day.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I was so nervous. I like, what do I do? I hope I don't screw up. But but you guys, you put on a good show. So I'm looking forward to the next one. Do we have or can we even talk about it? I know
We
I've heard some.
can.
I've heard some mutterings around the town.
Yes. So right now, I am in negotiations with a agency that is very decorated across the board when it comes to scouting models, when it comes to televising certain events. They're just really decorated in a lot of areas, and so I am in negotiation with them. In the moment, they want to partner with my next fashion show.
And these are designers, you said?
This is an agency.
Oh, an agency.
So they want to get really deep into it. They want to
Okay.
give the opportunity to maybe sign some models
Oh,
next
cool.
go around. And they even went as far as to say they want to pay the models
Oh.
for the next go around. So the negotiation is deep. It's a lot. So stay tuned for updates on that.
Yeah.
But I'm super blessed to even be at the table talking about that.
Yeah.
Just from one show to already be in negotiations with, a well-known agency. And I'm just really blessed. I would have never thought, that someone would reach out to me like, hey, like, I seen your work. I love it. I'm invested. Let's do this thing. I'm like,
Right.
is this a scam? Very much not a scam.
Yeah, you better be careful.
Yeah.
No, yeah, for real though. I mean, but all that stress and all that worry, and and
It's back.
is it?
It's back. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's a little bit of that, and I think something that Jit said. I think I'm developing this notion, Pat, about these people that are very creative and business minded, entrepreneurial minded people.
Mhm.
Y'all live for the chaos.
That's true.
And, it's like,
It's almost evidence that you're on the right track, if that makes sense.
oh yeah,
It's almost evidence that you're, like you're in deep. Like,
Well,
this is a little chaotic. Like, you're,
if you walked around like everything was just cool all the time, you didn't
Mhm.
stress at all. Are you really? Is it a success? Is it a success? I feel like when you're nervous and you have the butterflies and all those things are going on, is because you actually give a shit about what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And you care so much that you've put all this work into in detail and effort into this thing, and you've raised this thing into a little tiny baby, little fat baby. Sorry, I don't know where that descriptor came in, but yeah, and it is. And I think that's the way you're working, you're going in the right path.
Absolutely.
Because if you didn't have that, then it's not real,
Yep,
and I don't think it's going to be a success.
Yep. Someone once told me, if you're an entrepreneur, you have the passion, you have the spirit, then yeah, your plate's going to be full. Mhm.
Yeah, and something I've been reading a lot of books lately, audio books. I don't read. I can, I just don't have time. But there was a guy, we talked about him last time, is David Goggins, and he just you're never done, And he runs a lot of marathons and stuff like that. He was a whatever. It doesn't matter about what he does. If you're interested, check him out. David Goggins, Never Finished. It's a good book. But he will run these 300. I think it was like 200. I don't know. They're 240-mile, Ironman things or whatever. I don't know. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but they're out in Nevada in the fucking desert through mountain terrain and shit like that. And you're running for like 20 days or some shit. I don't know how many days. I'm horrible with numbers. Doesn't matter. The point is, when you feel like giving up, and then you don't. That's how that's success to me. Like, you reach down and let me see how much. What is there? Anything left in the tank?
Mhm.
Well, fuck it. I don't care. I'll run on fumes, and then okay, this is gonna be good.
Yeah.
I'm succeeding, and I'm not gonna stop.
I agree.
Have you talked about a venue for the next one at all, or can we even discuss that?
We can talk about venues.
See, I don't know what's on the table, off the table. What's
No, it's on the table. So we are currently looking at a few venues. I don't know if it was a dream or a vision. I can't remember, but I just would love to see the models walk around the fountain, and I just think of one place, and that's the Commerce Museum for a fashion show. So
That's what I heard.
I'm looking into the Commerce Museum for the fashion show. There's another venue that Elliot showed me to, which is really pretty and decorated. I can't recall the name of it, but it's really pretty, and I have high hopes for that as well. I'm also looking at it's called the Breezeway. We used to have Silent Disco there. It's where Bread and Board or Burger and Jack's is at. It's in between those places, but I love the architecture, the simplicity of it's like a straight and narrow walkway, and I just imagine models walking down that walkway.
Yeah.
It's just really pretty. So and then there's a couple more venues in place as well, but I think that's what's really gonna keep the name, the Jack's Fashion Experience, if we do have it at different venues. It's gonna give it that much more of a different experience each time someone comes.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, you talked about your vision just now. When you look back at all the footage and then all the memories that you had from the night, and do you feel like the end product, the end result, did it aligned itself with your vision for that night?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, there's just one particular photo. What's his name? There's a photographer took of me, and I'm actually doing my walk, but the picture that he took of me, I wasn't like smiling. It was more like I was focused, but then everyone in the background was more like smiling and cheering for me. And, I just thought like, because I am hard on myself, and I'm like thinking like, oh, okay, if I would have done that a bit better, maybe that person would have had dropped out. Just, I guess you could say I was being a negative Nancy, but just seeing that photo, seeing so many like smiling faces behind me, it's just like, you know what they say, like a picture says 1,000 words. So that said 1,000 words to me. So yeah.
So then it did line up with your expectations.
It did.
Okay.
It did. Yeah,
Good.
it did. And it was beautiful. I feel like everyone from different cultures and diversities, they unified in a way which I could have never imagined. And just to have that many people in one room, it was just crazy. I think about it now, I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe it was like over 150 people in a room.
Yeah.
Like it didn't feel like it.
Don't let the fire marshal know.
Okay.
No, it was in the way you had it set up. Again, it seemed like it was the perfect way to do it.
Yeah, I don't think I would have done it any other way.
No, because if you did, it could have just been chaos.
It would have been chaos.
And that would not have been good.
No.
You wouldn't have got any footage. You wouldn't have got any photos because people would just been going nuts, and no model walkway. I mean, it was perfect the way you did it. So, I mean, especially for the space that you had. It's a beautiful space. But when you said, the Kameron Museum, to be honest with you, I've never been there.
It's beautiful.
And then, as a photographer, I've never been there because I'm a fucking hipster. And if everyone wants to go, oh my God, it's so cool to photograph. I'm like, fuck you, I'm not going there.
It's really beautiful.
But I will definitely go there. And I will stay the entire time. You have my word. I will take the hit.
It's beautiful. So they actually have. So there's a lot of places in the Commerce Museum, but there's two places I'm specifically interested in. There's like this big ballroom type room. It's just very simplistic.
Right.
Nothing really going on. Also, my vision for the fashion show is I love for the people to become the decorations. Not so much having too many decorations around, but I want the people to become the decorations.
Okay.
So that's kind of like one of the visions for the show. I love how, Collab is pretty decorated, but
yeah,
I feel like the people were the most decorated out of all the decorations. But we have that area, and you have do they call it the Enchanted Garden in Commerce Museum? I can't remember. It's called the Secret Garden or the Enchanted Garden. Anyway, it's beautiful. It's literally right out of a fairy tale. Like, I remember walking there on a sunny day, and I was seeing pink flowers, white flowers, purple flowers. They have arches. They have grass statues. They have grass walls. You can see the skyline. You can see the waves crashing on the wall. And I'm just like,
that's so cool.
This is beautiful. Like, I want my runway show here.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea. I think it's a fantastic venue. And I think that if you've reached out to the other venues that you had in mind, just to be like, hey, just kind of like, hang on. I'm going to try. This is my first. And then if that doesn't work, but they're going I really feel like as a venue, If you want to bring people into your place, I mean, I feel like when you do that and you get it done there, everybody else is going to say, Cam, come use our space.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I think it's important to go big very early if you have the opportunity to do so, because again, you have that like, oh my God, like you had at the Kameron Museum, like, and it's pricey. It's
Yeah.
pricey. It's like really pricey, but
Basically, there will be you'll be breaking even, if that.
yes and no. It's just really pricey. I would just say that. It's really pricey, but I am willing to do that for the vision.
Yeah.
I'm willing to do that for the vision. And, if I have to allot my sum, my part of the sum for it, I will. Because that's like the biggest vision for me is I could just imagine the models like in their clothes, just walking through the gardens and just the footage and the pictures and the experience. The experience is what I'm more excited for, but the pictures too. But the experience of just being so effortless is, it's amazing. So.
Yeah, well, that's what the practice, all that does. But yeah, your vision sounds amazing. I'm really excited to hopefully be a part.
Yes,
or
for sure.
At least be able to capture part of it for you. Maybe it's time to, when we do that, if you get in there and you can get that Kameron Museum, you raise the prices on the tickets to come,
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I don't think it would hurt. It will definitely help pay for some of that overhead.
I think so,
you
too.
know, which, again, is one of those things that people don't think about too much. You just turn music on, right? And you just let them and put people in some outfits. And I just had my ADHD just went off, and I was just thinking about how many models did you have?
So we ended with 24, or was it 27? Between those numbers. I think it was 24.
So close to 30 people.
Yeah, because we lost
and
a lot.
I know that back room.
Oof.
Yeah, and all those people back there.
I just felt the hairs melt from my face. It was so hot back there. I was like,
well, and everybody's changing clothes, and we didn't hear a fucking word.
I know. I tried my best.
No, we didn't hear no peep. Nobody was bitching.
I tried to make it very decorated. I had candles lit back there. I had plants back there.
Yeah, you worry me with them fucking candles.
Yeah. I think someone was like, Cam, are you sure you want those candles? I'm like, blow those bitches out, please.
Yeah, because we're about to set this bitch on fire just from body friction.
But I think, too, the rawness of just everyone being crowded in that back room, the experience. I'm glad it wasn't a big ballroom, or I'm glad it wasn't so posh, because that's part of the experience.
Well, and being that you're the only coordinator, if you had a giant ballroom when everybody was like trying to get rest and they're all set, you're gonna need like 10 people in there trying to get people. Hurry up, you're next. This and that,
But I love that being an experience for the models. So
right,
I love that. Like, just make it happen.
Yeah,
just like I made it happen you got to make it happen. I think that's another important thing as a model, is sometimes you got to make it happen.
100%. Because no one else is going to do it for you.
Yeah.
Well, like, talking about, like, the scouts and the people, the Mark Jacobs of the world, I'm just going to use his name from now on because that's the only person I know. What is it? Anyways, nope, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Gap? No. Sorry, I'm just making myself look dumb. But those people are always the models that are out walking the runway right now. They're not always going to be fresh faces, and they're always going to need fresh faces. Which in that industry, I imagine and this sounds really shitty, I'm sure, but you're almost very disposable, because once you reach a certain beauty point and age, they don't want you anymore.
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the harsh truth of it. I mean, otherwise, you see these models walking these runways and these fashion shows, they look like they never fucking age, but that's because they got a different girl or a different guy that looks similar, and they're like 10 years younger,
I think, too, I'm glad you said that, Jim, because that is partially it's very true in the modeling world. It's
Yeah.
very true. You're very disposable. That's why you can't just focus on
Being a model.
being a model and you have to bring more to the table.
Right.
Like, I'm a model, but I'm also a photographer. Also know how to direct. I'm also a marketer. Also work at silent disco. Also play the piano.
I believe we call that entrepreneur.
You have to, but you have to not just be a pretty face at the table. 'Cause
Right.
And if that's what you're limited to, unfortunately, you are very disposable. I'm like,
Right.
what else can you help us with? I'm like, well, I could just take good pictures. Like, that's
Yeah, beauty.
And like,
Which
beauty
that
doesn't
bothers the
last.
shit out of me about like a lot of today's youth.
Mm.
They see the Kardashians and these
Oh,
people
God.
that are out there,
They think that's the epitome. It's like, that's not.
you know, getting work done on their body, and
Mm.
they're only doing. It's like what they're doing, in my opinion, is like if modeling clay were to melt, and they're trying to just keep it. No, I'm trying to make a vase. Stay up, stay up.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do that forever. You know, and they can put as many injections in their ass and and in their face and whatever, Botox, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's only gonna last for so long.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And eventually the charm is gonna wear the fuck off, and you got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, making yourself more than just your face and your body.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that's might get your foot in the door for sure? But there's so many other things. There's actors out there right now that have gone back to school
Yeah.
and they've gotten a degree because they know, hey, there might come a time when I can't act.
Yeah. Where's your safety net?
Right. That's so important for today's youth. And I think about that all the time because it is this. We're in this, to me, I feel like we're in this like time of everybody wants to be important. I mean, me too. Otherwise, I wouldn't have fucking cameras and microphones. But, I don't want to be important. I just want, it doesn't matter. But we're in this time where young people think that that's the way to make a living, that you can become famous on Instagram. You can become famous on Twitter, TikTok, OnlyFans, whatever it may be. But that shit won't last,
Mm-mm.
So the message is, make yourself worth more than just your face and your body.
Yeah.
And
Just be you.
Yeah.
Who you are and build yourself up. Don't try to build yourself up to be someone else or to mimic someone else. Build yourself up in your way. Obviously, inspiration is great. I have inspirations. Marc Jacobs is my inspiration. A ton of others. I don't want to be another Marc Jacobs. I want to be Kameron.
right.
So I think it's just important. Like, take notes and, take notes, but don't. I don't know. Just don't be so
Don't limit
obsessed with
yourself.
them.
Yeah. I feel like don't limit yourself.
Don't limit yourself too.
Yeah.
Or don't feel like you have to follow in the same exact steps as
Oh,
them
yeah.
to obtain, because you probably won't. You probably won't
No.
attain what they did.
Absolutely not.
No.
Like, I mean, not to keep going back to me, but like this podcast I've been doing it for almost 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, the amount of people that listen are, it's growing, but it's not where if you think you're going to just become an overnight success, it's just not going to happen. It's
No.
just not. And most of the time when you have an overnight success, that's what we call a one-hit fucking wonder.
Mm-hmm.
And where do we find the one-hit wonders nowadays? I don't know where the guys that sang Mbop went. The Hanson Brothers, I got no fucking clue.
Nowhere to be
But,
found.
Mbop was awesome
Mm-hmm.
for like a minute. And then
Yeah.
it was just gone. Macarena, those guys are gone.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, don't make yourself disposable. But yeah, it's that's one of the harsher parts of that industry, I think, is
Absolutely.
that people have these false notions about what's going to happen, and I'm going to be so rich and I can just live off of this forever. And you might if you're smart with your money.
That's true. Yeah.
But the smart people have other shit going on.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, but yeah.
I agree with that. I think that was important to touch on for sure.
Yeah. I worries me about today's youth.
Me too. Yeah. Like, I can never go back to, and I don't mean to boast about it, but I'm going to boast, just having one stream of income.
Yeah.
Right now I have four streams of income.
That's good.
And I'm just like, because if one goes to shit, like, I have 3 more
And you can go
to rely
replace
on.
the other one.
Go replace the other one. But I could just, I just can't imagine just having one stream of income, because that's happened to me before, and I have been in a situation where I only had one stream of income, and it just wasn't fair.
Yeah.
I was let go very unfairly, and all my passions and dreams died because it was swept off the table. And I was like, I never want to be in that position again. I never want to feel so worthless and purposeless in my life.
At the mercy of others.
Oh my God, that's the most uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah, I know. I've been doing it forever. My whole life I've had one stream of income, and I've relied on that money to come in, and it's part of the reason why I started this. And I never expect to make money doing this. I'll never charge, but it's kind of a break. It gives me a mental break away from the rat race, because it does get fucking old.
And it's awesome.
Yeah, but
the Great Beard Podcast is awesome.
Yeah.
You haven't been on, are you nuts?
Well, I appreciate that, and I always appreciate you coming on. But yeah, are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
56.
Wow.
Okay, so we're close to an hour. What is there anything else that we can discuss about either your future plans or anything that you've got coming up? Like, let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I'll actually just say this now because it's already in the works.
Yes.
I'm supposed to be partnering with JoJo, who tuned in tonight.
Oh.
And a couple other models from the fashion show. I want to make sure that the Jack's fashion experience isn't just like a seasonal thing. I want to have and me and Ellie actually talked about this too, pockets of events, like smaller events, smaller collaborations. So we are actually in the works of doing a model camp seminar.
Oh, okay.
With the collaboration of the Jack's fashion experience. What that is going to entail is, it's still in the works, but I'll kind of give you the run through of it very quickly.
Yeah.
It's 5 different sections. One section is kind of just explaining. It's more like a what do you call those? Like talks, like a 30-minute talk.
Oh, okay.
Tutorial.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Tutorial.
Like a conference or something.
How to communicate with your photographer.
Oh, okay.
How to
Yeah,
submit to an
yeah.
agency. You know, I feel like in the show there were so many decorated models. It's kind of unfair not to share your testimony or information with so many others. So I want to make sure people have that opportunity and access as well. So that is one part. Another part is going to be behind the camera. So there'll be about an hour where we just focus on photo shooting and posing and that sort. I feel like JoJo does really well with that part.
Yeah.
And directing and, doing those little fun, funky, high-end, high-fashion poses. So that's going to be a part. Third part's going to be runway walk. So we're going to have an hour of just like runway with different people who want to learn how to walk on a runway or things of that sort, or want runway etiquette at that sort. And then the fourth part is going to be styling. I think styling is very important. I feel like you have to know yourself. You have to know what you're comfortable in, so you can communicate with people. Especially your photographer, especially with whoever you're working with, what you feel comfortable in and what you don't feel comfortable in. And then the fifth part, I don't know because I didn't get that far.
So this is like a summer camp for modeling and runways. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's and not only is that cool as a great opportunity for up and coming models, it's also helping you when you do your next runway show. They're already fucking trained.
They're already trained. Yeah, and I'll shout out Steven really quickly too. I know we're winding down, but Steven has been a big part of the show too. Steven, I love you, appreciate you. You're a great friend. But he is the one that has the attention of Marc Jacobs. So to have him in the room, teaching people like, well, how did you do that? Like, how did you get there? Like, I want to know. Like,
right.
And not even just to get Marc Jacobs' attention, but like, how do you get on the radar?
Right.
In a sense, without being so obsessy and like a copycat. Like, 'cause Steven is very much him. Like, I haven't met a model like Steven before.
Yeah, I think that authenticity is what something about people that act a certain way in front of others, and like when your family sees you, they're like, why are you talking like that?
Absolutely.
You don't talk like that.
Absolutely.
Like if you talk to any of my people, they know this is how I fucking talk. This is me.
Absolutely.
But being authentic, it just people are attracted to that, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. They're like, this is a real motherfucker.
Absolutely.
So I think that I don't know the guy. I don't know Steven.
Yeah,
but
he's amazing.
yeah. So I mean, probably that would assume.
Yeah.
Because when you said he's not like, anybody I've ever met.
He's really decorated. He's a really great person. I would definitely tell him about the Graybeard podcast, and you need to be on it. And then just one last thing too. I feel like marketing. I feel like a lot of models don't know how to market themselves.
Yeah.
They wait to be a part of something before they get shown. It's like you need to learn how to market yourself.
Of course.
You got to learn how to put yourself on the radar. I think that's really important. So those are kind of like the areas that we're going to touch on. But yeah, it's going to be a fun time. It's not going to be strenuous. It's going to be from like 12 to 3, like 3 hours. But I don't know.
Still sounds cool.
Yeah, I had a vision. I'm just like, this could be really cool. So
It's a very cool opportunity. Again, what you're doing is amazing for the community, not for Jacksonville. Jacksonville gets such a bad rap. It's like number 3 in murders or some shit.
The pass-through city.
Yeah, but we're more than that.
We are.
And there's a lot of emerging artists and emerging art in general. That I've been kind of the blinds that have come off my eyes because I didn't know all this shit was going on. I used to play in a band, and we knew like every local garage unit that there was. If you played at the fucking Milk Bar or the Imperial or any Jackrabbits, then we knew you. But that was, to us, that was it. Nobody made it out of Jacksonville for music. Nobody. Until there was like, oh, fuck, Limp Bizkit and I think Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, but at any rate, people need to bring their eyes over here to Jacksonville. It's a beautiful city.
It's beautiful.
And there's a bunch of fantastic and talented people here. And I'm just happy that I could have one of them on my show tonight. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Jim. Well, I'm so glad I was able to be back on the Graybeard podcast.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You got an open invitation. If there's anything that you want to promote, or you're always welcome to come back on. You just hit me up. We'll schedule it and we'll get you in.
Let's do it.
But give everybody your socials so they can hit you up and they can find you.
Yes, absolutely. So I have several. My personal is Kameron.Lott, KAMEREN.Lott, LOTT. The fashion show page I created is Jack's Fashion XEXP. You can also find it in my bio. And then my marketing page is Honey and Tea Social, which should be coming soon. Love that. And then there's another Instagram I use. It's more like a spam, but it's Cup of Coffee with Cam. I was also going to start a podcast, and I was like, no, the Graybeard podcast is good enough. So I'll put that on the back burner.
You need help. You need a spice to do your podcast. You're welcome to come on in.
No, this is amazing. This is my vision right here. Okay. So I'm gonna stick with the Graybeard podcast.
Sounds good. So, yeah, man. Well, I really appreciate you coming in and sitting with me and talking about your amazing experience.
Thank you.
I'm looking so forward to the next one.
Yes.
Honestly, just it's going to be I have, from what I've seen, I already know the next one's going to go up. It's only going to go up.
It's only going to go up. And I'm going to have security there. I'm going to make sure they know that you don't leave early. Okay.
You're gonna hold me against my will. No, I promise I'll stay. Folks, I work a full-time job, okay, and I get up at 2:00 in the morning. So at 8:30, I turn into a pumpkin, and but I got home, and I looked on Instagram before I laid my little stupid head down to bed, and I said, look at all this. People were already posting videos, and the minute I left, Tokyo started shooting fire around, and I'm just like,
you still got some of the best moments of the show.
I got some moments before my shit
got some really good
crapped
moments.
out. But anyways, take us out of here, Patty. Cam, thank you so much.
Yes,
I look forward to having you back on the next time. And ladies and gentlemen, Graybeard Photo Co. on Instagram and the Graybeard Podcast. The Graybeard Podcast on YouTube. Obviously, you're watching it here, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Share it with your friends if you liked it, and be looking forward to another interview next week. I'm hoping to have a musical guest on. If they'll, I'm trying to, we're in communication, and then the following week will be my 100th episode, podcast episode, not YouTube episode. If you didn't know, if you just want to go listen, the podcast is available on all major platforms or wherever you get your podcasts. So go check that out. But I'll have Mr. Russell Armento with So Scenic Photography on. I'm looking forward to that. It all started with him, and it's only fitting that our 100th episode is with him. So I'll see you guys. That's it for tonight. Peace out.
Peace.